What is up, TBC? It's your boy, Tough Bill's coming back at you guys with yet another video. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys had a really good weekend. My weekend went okay, and this is what happened. Alright guys, so these are the two parts that we're actually going to be installing today, and this is the EGR valve. This is going to be a very big project right here, so you're probably going to want about an hour, 30 minutes to 2 hours. If you don't know what you're doing, then yeah, about 2 hours and a half. This is a sensor that goes on top of your airflow master, which tells your computer what kind of gases to throw in and all the air mixture and such. So we're going to definitely be doing this one and this one today. We're going to try to start it after they're both installed. So let me go ahead and show you the tools that you're going to be needing for this job. 10mm deep socket, 5/15 deep socket, 1/4 inch extension, or a 1 foot extension, wrench, torque wrench, 7/15 wrench, very small wrench, and an inch extension. And if you're wondering, yes, I know the difference between a ratchet or a wrench or whatever. I know the difference, but I'm saying that's what they are. So, I'm the person working on the car, not you. I'm just kidding. But anyways, guys, so we are about to start this very, very soon here. We need to take that out. The car is definitely bogging a lot. And I think with having that part in it and changing out that sensor, the car will just run 10 times better. I mean, I'm pretty sure of it. I'm pretty sure you're sure of it. And I'm pretty sure that you probably have a Dodge. And it's not only Dodge Magnums, it's also Challengers, Chargers, everything that has Dodge in it will have that EGR valve that you have to either clean once a month or replace when it goes bad. So, let's go ahead and jump into the video. So before we even get started with taking apart the motor, you always want to make sure that you disconnect your battery. So in this case, this is where the 10mm and the small little ratchet is going to come in play, because if you guys actually know, in the Dodge, it's really hard to get to this terminal here. So we're going to go ahead and undo this terminal, and once the terminal is undone, I'm going to come back and we'll get started in the motor. And this part right here, guys, it's pretty simple, lay back, forward, you know, easy as it goes. You're going to go ahead and take your 5/15 right here. We're going to go ahead and undo these screws right here, or you can use a flathead. I'll just rather use this. So this one right here needs to come off, and this one right here, you can either take off the sensor or you can leave it. It's up to you, but this one you will definitely have to take off because this part here we're going to be actually removing. If you guys are wondering how to go ahead and take off this sensor right here to the plug, you always want to just make sure that you don't have these red tabs here. If you do, you just want to pull it up and then you push right here and you go ahead and take it out. The same thing with this one. There's a tab right here. You're just going to pull it out. This one seems to be busted. And then you're going to go ahead and press on this part right here and then go ahead and pull it out. Also, for this one right here, which is your main sensor. This is what sends everything to your ECM. So you want to do that tab thing, push it in, pull the tab down, pull it out. We have to take out these two as well, and these are pretty simple. You just go ahead and undo those. Go ahead and grab your wrench with your 10mm again. You're going to need this. There's a pattern to do this, so let's show you how to do it. There is 7 screws on this air intake right here. What you're going to do is you're going to start off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Remember how I said that this car is definitely missing a lot of bolts and screws and plates and which not? Your guys's will have a plate that connects to right here to the throttle body, and it goes right there. It pretty much holds this more stationary so it doesn't have any more vibration. But then there's also these two right here as well. I already took one nut off. We got one more. 7/15 right here. Your 7/15 will take off that nut on that end. You're just going to go ahead and undo those. Undo that if you have the plate. These right here, you just bring them all the way up and you pull them up and you just screw them like you're pretty much unthreading them. Make sure that you guys also remove your dipstick off that little attachment thing right here. A dipstick can bend and move a little bit, but try not to. You don't want to have any leaks going on with that. All you have to do next is pull this air intake all the way up. And then once that is done, so you're going to grab this, which is the box I created, and this is going to sit on the top of your valve so that way you don't knock anything in there or nothing falls in there. You definitely don't want nothing to go inside your valves. So I'm going to show you, before we get to this step, there's one more step after you're done removing those plates, like I was saying, and those things over here as well. There's one more stage that we have to make sure before we pull this thing out. So make sure you double check. There's two connectors here. One for your map sensor, which needs to be disconnected, so make sure you go ahead and disconnect your map sensor. Then you got your throttle body sensor. You're going to make sure you want to disconnect that, and also your air intake sensor as well. So all of those are disconnected. Then you're going to go on the back of your air intake. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, and then the big metal one that you guys will see back there. You won't be able to pull that one out until you pull this out a little bit. So go ahead and take off all the rubber ones for right now, and then go ahead and lift up and push that other one out, and then you can go ahead and lift it all the way out. It is a struggle to get this out if you have not done it before. So basically what I do is I hold the dipstick for the tranny, I hold it and I try to push up the intake above it, and then once I get that out and it's free, I can easily remove the whole intake out of the car. So my throttle body is finally out. The whole entire intake right here, everything is pretty much out now. So as far as that box goes, you can also use like paper towels. You can just shove little paper towels in there. Make sure you don't put it too deep because you're going to have to take that back out. And you don't want a chunk of it to break off and go in there. That won't be pretty. Here, you're going to see the EGR valve right here. This is a little tube, which, wow. Look at that, guys. That is no bueno. My tube busted. That sucks to know that my tube broke. If you guys come in here, you're gonna see the connector right here, right underneath all of this mess right here. And what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna take that tab. Some of them are a little pain in the butt, but this one shouldn't be. You're just gonna pull that tab out, and then there's a clip just like the rest of them, and go ahead and unplug it. So there's basically two 10mm bolts that you have to take off. I usually just buy the new one. That way I can tell exactly where the bolts are at. I know, I'm not the first person that's actually used that line on YouTube. But anyways, guys, it's really, really easy. I'm just being honest with you. If you feel right here, there's one right there, and there's the other one right there, right on the sides. And I know that those are the two because I already pulled this once. So the bigger one, if this 10mm cannot fit on those two bolts, then you're doing the wrong one. Don't go too low, don't go too high. If you just have to fill the EGR valve and make sure that you're not touching the big bolt and you're just touching those little two 10mm bolts right there. Go ahead and disconnect those. No need to take off the pipe, it comes right off with it. There we are. There it is. It's finally out. Let's go drink a booze or something. But anyways, it's finally out. The new gasket that I just put on here just fell on the floor again. That's the second gasket that I put on here. But anyways, you're going to see this little blue guy right here. Mine is brand new, so I don't need to replace it. You always want to make sure you clean or check inside this hose right here. Mine's pretty clean. I already did that last week. If you guys actually look inside of it, you can see a lot of carbon buildup inside of that. And there's just a lot. Inside of this pipe right here, once I take it off, it's even worse. You can always take this right here out. There's those little two clips right there, so if you have any of those pliers, you can take it out. And then you can go ahead and clean it better. So now that we finally got it off, basically it's all you have to do is take off this pipe, make sure it's not clogged, make sure there's no gapping holes. It's like inside that other pipe that I had. You always want to make sure that there is no more holes in that, because like I said, very, very important to make sure it's not clogged. or else you're gonna have the air come right back on again. So if you are buying the whole thing and you're buying the unit plus the pipe, then you don't have to worry about it. But just make sure that it's cleaned enough. You might want to take a mirror and check inside your engine department as well. Mine's pretty clean, I already checked in it, it's not clogged. The gaskets that go on this part right here and that part, you just want to take your screw and thread inside of that gasket all the way until it's flush with this guy right here. So that way the gasket's on there, you don't have to worry about dropping it. The screw will hold it, and once you get in there, you just want to do right to left, right to left, right to left until it's completely flush. Basically, this is exactly how you want to do it. You put the gasket like that. That way it doesn't go anywhere when you're trying to move it. I already put the new gasket on the exhaust part too as well. If you guys look at the old one where the exhaust port was, look how nasty that is. It is literally clogged. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and install it. We're gonna take this back off again, and then we have to throw the intake back on and all the hoses. When you guys do that part, make sure you guys connect every single hose back to it, or you'll have a vacuum leak. And you definitely don't want a vacuum leak. It would definitely suck. So mine are pretty much torqued down. They're good to go, ready to basically get the rest of this stuff done. So now what you're going to do, you're going to take this box off right here. I usually grab a flashlight, a really bright flashlight. You're just going to slide this guy off very gently because, you know, it's a cardboard box. You don't want no pieces of the box falling in there. So want to turn your flashlight on. You want to check your ports. Once you get to this point and you finally have this guy back on, I know it's a struggle and I know it can be a pain in my beep beep, but it's gonna be, guys. It's just gonna be. So once you get it on and you're at that step, or if you didn't give up yet, basically this is how you really want to put that thing in there. You want to try to just slide this thing in and push on the dipstick towards this way a little bit, not too hard. Remember, like I said, this is your tranny oil dipstick, so be careful with it. You're gonna pull it closer to you and then get underneath this little flap thing right here. And once after that, you can go ahead and start putting down your bolts. The way you want to tighten these bolts is the same way how you unloosened them. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, guys, I was getting them screwed on. Did not even torque them down. Didn't have the chance to torque them down yet. These bolts are very rusted and they're very old. I should have knew that this was going to happen. But anyways, right here in my block and my manifold, one snapped. It snapped completely off. It freaked me out. I took this thing back off again, and I looked, and it was just a snap bolt. The manifold, thank God, is okay. Thank God. I just don't know if having that one screw like that is going to cause an issue, if it will leak or not. This thing does have 7 screws, but like I said, the screws are there for a reason, to prevent leaks. So, this is not a good day for me right now. Not very happy. Didn't even have the chance to torque these things down yet, and I had one snap. So you know what? I'm just going to do a fill of torque. If your screws are not that great, I would not have been torqued them down that great, guys. I wouldn't even do that. Like, I should have known. So only torque them down enough till you feel them get tight. Tight enough. Do a 3 1/4 turn, and that's it. Leave it alone. Don't touch them. Don't torque them. Don't do anything to them. Especially if your bolts are old, like mine are. It's not the end of the world. I finally got it put back on, so she is stable. I went ahead and made sure that there's no cracks on the plastic intake as well, which there's not, so that's a good thing. There's no cracks on my manifold, so that's another good thing. So now everything is put back together, guys. I made sure that I hooked up every little hose possible. You want to make sure you have everything hooked back in. I mean everything, even this port back here. The port that was right here, double check your work. I always tell myself to do that. So anything that I unplugged, like this, anything that I took off, Sorry about the fan noise, it's like 105 still in the garage. But I always check underneath and make sure that the hose is still there and it's still holding up. Hose is still there and it's still holding up. I want to make sure that it's completely on and not hanging off by any means. Here I go. Here goes the initial start. The AC on, if you're wondering, but already I'm just bringing this to the table. Already I can see a difference. The motor's not shaking as bad. The exhaust sounds totally different. I don't know, you guys listen. Compared to my last video. The last part, guys, of the video is obviously this sensor right here is located right here. If you already have that unplugged, you just turn it and then push it down and then turn it back this way and lock it in. And that's pretty much how you change out that. So there we go. EGR valve complete. It is day 2 now. I just wanted to show you guys that I have no airs on my dashboard after replacing that EGR valve. The air, on the other hand, is kind of blowing out cold, but not 100%. Like, it's better than what it was. It's not blowing hot air, at least. But the passenger side is kind of warm. But now it's starting to come cold now. There it goes. Okay, so I might want to check the Freon again and make sure it's 100% done. But anyways, once after you are done doing all of that stuff to your car, you're going to take your OBW2 port right here. You're going to go ahead and run your scan. And while this is running, I just want to know how you guys doing. How was your guys' day? What is new? What's different? Okay, so basically the scanner finally now is done. So we have 2 little spots here. Some cars only have 1, but mine has 2. So you're going to go ahead and click on this guy right here, and yes, mine is a different language because I went ahead and did the update, which caused it to do a different language some reason, I don't know. But I'm going to eventually get a new W2 anyways. Alright, so now it says no codes found. So basically, if you have a code, you're going to go over here, and you're just going to click yes. I'm going to go ahead and click no, because mine's already clear. But you're going to click yes, and it will clear your code from off of your dashboard. And if you guys love this Dodge Magnum, don't worry guys, there's plenty more going to be coming out for this Dodge Magnum. I'm going to be doing the seats like I was saying, but I'm probably not going to be able to do the red and black like I really wanted to. I might, I don't know yet, but I know that I'm going to go to the junkyard, I'm going to find some Dodge Challenger seats, they're pretty much both the same. So I'm going to switch those out, put them in here. I really so badly want to change out the whole interior, guys. Like, my perspective, if I only knew that the Dodge Challenger 2015 interior stuff would fit perfectly fine in this car, I would be down to do it. So if you guys didn't know any information about that, let me know, and maybe that's what we'll do here. We'll make everything back to pretty much a 2015 Dodge Magnum. We're gonna make our own. I mean, it can't be that hard, right? We'll just have to take the computer to get it programmed for pretty much everything because it's not going to work the same. But on that behalf, guys, I hope you guys did like this video. Once again, my name is Tough Bills. If you guys like this video, make sure you guys go ahead and smash that like button. Don't forget to hit the bell on the side. Give this video a comment down in the section down below. Share this with all your friends, family, pets, relatives, dogs. I don't care. Let's just keep sharing and keep growing. And I think every single one of you that has smashed that subscribe button so far. Also, as well, if you have not picked up the jacket, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys go ahead and pick up that jacket because it is limited. I'm going to be taking that down probably in the next few months here. So make sure you guys go ahead and pick up one of those from Blue Panther. I'm going to be ordering mine very shortly here. So let's keep building and keep growing. I'll see you guys in the next banger.
with